Facebook Live. Good afternoon. American Girl is the song playing, and I want to recognize the singer. Her name is Serena Joy, and she's a rapper, an emerging rapper, and doing extremely well. So she created this album. She walked in my gallery a few years ago, and I love to support young people, especially young girls, and to encourage them in their career. So I purchased her album, a great album. And when I use this album with young people, they love it. So sometimes you have to change the tune, and you have to gravitate to the younger generation. It is Women's History Month. We are celebrating Women's History Month. So yesterday I played the music of Alfie Moss, who is a local person. Serena Joy, she is local too, from Wilmington. So I credit her for this music. I want to talk today about the women in my life who have inspired my lifetime achievements. I could not have done it without these women. So I want to share with you those women who have been dynamic in my career, actually throughout my life. This morning I updated my profile, and I put a profile picture of myself and two of my sisters. I have a total of 6 sisters, and myself would be 7. So I want to shine the spotlight on my family in terms of my accomplishments, lifetime, and how family was very important, more so my sisters, and especially my mother. So as Women's History Month, I want to give credit to my late mother, who inspired my life in every way and left me a great legacy, left me great skills, and prepared me for the challenges of living in the United States. So, Women's History Month, I salute my late mother. And I created a book. And the first story in the book is about my mother. And I want to share, we'll turn that music off. I want to share this story because it's very, very important in terms of my life and how my late mother influenced my life. So, Grandma's Story Time. And I am featuring 2 different versions of story time. This is Grandma with the Bible. And the next one, almost identical, but this one is Grandma with a storybook. And the next one, my most famous, storyteller. So it's story time. We're talking about the importance of heritage as it relates to women's history and to the motivation that women receive or need. So here goes the story. To the community in Jamaica where she resided all her life, she was known as everybody's mother and everybody's grandma. Compassionate and selfless, she was like Dorcas, the biblical woman who was completely occupied with good deeds and almsgiving. When she passed away in July 2003 at age 96, there was an outpouring of wonderful tributes to her life and work. Her name was Aletha Hanniford, affectionately called Miss Leader. She was the mother of my 10 siblings and me. This image, that's the image I showed you first, was a masterful, my mom was a masterful storyteller. Throughout her life, she took pride in sharing African folk tales with her children, grandchildren, great and great-grandchildren. Her Stories imparted profound morals that shaped our lives while boosting our self-confidence and self-esteem. These stories taught us about our heritage and the greatness of the deeds of our ancestors. Well-known Jamaican anthropologist Dr. Olive Lewin visited my mother years ago to record and archive her stories in Jamaica's memory bank. Her stories will be passed on to many future generations yet to come. My mother was more than a storyteller. In her own right, she was a great prophetess and philosopher. In one of my recordings of her life story, I asked her, "How did you and Papa meet the challenges of raising and educating 10 children?" Her response was, "It was through hard work, perseverance, and faith in God." So I developed a formula for life success from those words, and the formula is HW plus P plus FIG equals S, which means hard work plus perseverance plus faith in God equals success. Perseverance has been a forte of my life. And again, when I immigrated to the United States, it required a lot of perseverance, and therefore that biblical faith that brought me through to reside here and helped me to meet those challenges. So yes, on this day in women's history, I salute my late mother, who was the architect of the accomplishments that I have achieved. Well, let's go to other women now who have impacted my life. And I'm going to talk about my sisters. There are 7 of us, and each one is so unique. We are so unique in our own ways. But there has been that very, very tight bond between us. And that bond was so very helpful again when I immigrated to a new country and faced the challenges of discrimination in corporate America as a Black woman, older woman with an accent. And I used to relate to my siblings. They would support me wholeheartedly and give me the courage to press on and to never give up. So I salute my 6 sisters. I don't want to be partial, but you know I'm an artist. So as it relates to my artist career, there is one sister that I must single out. Hadn't it been for her, probably my artistic skills would have waned on the journey. But my sister, she's the younger sibling still living in Jamaica. Her name is Mary. Mary saw the art in me at an early age. I told you how I used to use charcoal and draw on the walls, and how she helped me to, gave me an exercise book to do my drawings in. But more so, in 2014, I received the Governor's Award for the Arts. And I was asked a question, do you have any of your childhood art you could show us? Well, unfortunately, my late parents did not have the instinct to realize that I was going to become famous. So all those early drawings that I did, well, most of them were on the wall of the house, and my dad would paint it over anyhow. So my early childhood art was never saved. The only piece of my art which was saved by my sister Mary. And I recall when I immigrated and would go back for vacation, she would say to me, I still have that work of art. And she worked in the post office and traveled the 14 parishes almost. And she kept that work of art. And let's share that work of art. This is the work of art. It was done in pen and ink in 1962, which makes it now 59 years old. Older than many of you out there. This work of art. And I chose to represent the Jamaican coat of arms because I did it in 1962. That's the year that Jamaica gained independence from mother country Britain. And we changed our motto from the old Spanish, because we were first occupied by the Spaniards, and that coat of arms represented the motto, which was on it, represented Spanish, and it was in Spanish. So when we gained our independence, we changed it. And our motto became, out of many, one people. And let me show you the image that relates to that motto. Here we go. I name it diversity, but it is out of many, one people. This is what the Jamaican demography looks like. So back to applauding my sister, Mary, who lives in Christiana, Jamaica. She was the one who saved this work of art that made me famous. So I thank you, my dear sister. All my siblings throughout my career, and I'm the only one who is the artist in the family. That's a special gift that came, we traced it to our ancestor. I got the gift. I got the gift of storytelling. My mom left me that gift. My dad left me the gift of preaching. Oh yeah, I'm the daughter of a preacher man. I can preach too. So my dad was a lay preacher for 43 years in the Methodist Church. So the legacy that was left to me, and the fact that my dear sister preserved this legacy, 1962, the only work of art that reflects my childhood. This is phenomenal. So it is worth celebrating the women who have contributed to my lifetime achievements. So I started out with my mom. I went on to my sisters. So that's my family, those women in my family. But I left that family and I immigrated here. And I want to use this opportunity to salute the woman who has been my friend for 30 years. When I worked in corporate America, we met through the Walnut Street YMCA. We became volunteers. I had stopped painting then for 8 years, never lifted a brush. And she asked me to champion to be the team captain for a fundraiser, which I reluctantly did because I said I don't want to have to ask people for money. However, I got a vision. I told her I would pray. Got a vision to paint again. Painted again. And that's what has propelled my art. And that person is none other than my friend and mentor of 30 years, Dr. J. Macklin. Dr. J. Macklin is a phenomenal woman. She was a part of the Stop the Violence Coalition all the way back to 2001. She has been served on many, many organization boards in this community. She devotes her life to the community. She's now the owner of the Academy for Peace, which is located just 2 doors down from my gallery. 203 North Market Street in Wilmington, Delaware. And notice this image with us, celebrating peace. A peaceful city begins with me. So we have collaborated over the last 30 years to bring peace to our city, to work on getting youth to recognize that we should drop the guns and we should do things that are beneficial and promote peace in our community. So Dr. J. Macklin, thank you for all that you did to help me. And there is one piece when I talk about Dr. Macklin that I've never actually, I don't disclose that much. But when I was in corporate America and faced utter discrimination, yes, and had to stand up for my right and had to be a plaintiff in my own discrimination case, this woman, she was one of my witnesses who spoke out on my behalf, because she's also a reverend. She's Reverend Dr. J. Macklin. And when I faced the challenges in corporate America, I would call her and she would pray with me and give me that encouragement. She would say, let us pray. And we would pray over the phone. So I am what I am today in my art, and all the community accomplishments and all the awards that I've received, I credit it to the inspiration and mentorship of Dr. J. Macklin. I want to salute her for Women's History Month. She deserves all the accolades that I could ever give to her. So yes, celebrating women's history and recognizing those women who have contributed to my lifetime achievements. And as usual, I do the inspirational part of the video. But I'm a business owner, and my acclaim goes to the fact that I was a trailblazer to establish the first and probably the only folk art gallery first in the state of Delaware, and it is probably the only folk art gallery in the nation. This is a unique place. It is not only an art gallery for displaying and selling art, it is a vision center. So 6 years ago, I founded Lafate Gallery Vision Center, and I offer a lot of programs. And I'm announcing here that part of Women's History Month is going to reach out to young girls to mentor them. We are going to do this as a group effort. Showing in my gallery now is an exhibition which opens on Friday. Sneak peek, don't show them too much. And it opens on Friday, and thereafter, every Saturday through the month of March, we are going to be having in my gallery talk. We're going to invite young girls to come in and meet the artists so we can mentor them. We can encourage them to bring out the talent, the latent talents in them. So Friday from 5 to 8 p.m. will be the opening reception of the Fab 4 artists in the Lafate Gallery. And let me name them. We have Miss Dupree, Kendra Dupree, Megan Ferrari, myself, Eunice Lafate, I'm putting it in alphabetical order, and then my gallery curator, Joe Redbird. There are some stunning works of art in this gallery. As I said, I don't want to show it to you now, since we have not had the opening reception. But I encourage you to join us live on Facebook this Friday from 5 to 8 p.m. There are people who are coming in, and we're practicing social distancing. I have already put people in time slots. The event is from 5 to 8. So we're spreading it out and we're grouping people so we don't have crowds. We don't do crowds in this pandemic era. And everyone wears a mask. And if they don't, I have abundance of masks, sanitizer, and we're just going to do it the very safe way. So, in closing, let me introduce you to some products from Lafate Gallery. It is Women's History Month. What's on your wall? We are celebrating Women's History Month. Change the ambience of your wall to represent women's history. It's worth doing that. So I am celebrating here, trying to create works of art that people can collect at a very affordable price. So here are some of my pieces showcased in the exhibition. This is Women Balancing the World. These are miniatures, 5x7 frame, and they're very, very affordable. Chunk change, that's pocket change. I would say pocket change for them. Here's another beautiful piece, Women of Elegance. And this piece is extraordinarily special, has the title written on it, a tribute to the late and great Lady of Soul. Well, let's make that the poem, the late and great poet, Maya Angelou. That's her reflected there. And this is one of my most important pieces of showing my accomplishments. Women reaching for the stars. It is Women's History Month, and women strive to be mobile in their jobs. In corporate America, they want to reach for the stars. They want to achieve success, and they should be given an opportunity. So I appeal to corporate America to practice diversity, equity, and inclusion. There are women out there earning less than what men are earning for the same job. That is not fair. So let us buckle down and be inclusive while at the same time practice equity. Okay. I am very current in recognizing women, very current, all the way up to America's first Black female Vice President, Kamala Harris, represented in this miniature. I do have the original painting, which I unveil for the opening. So again, we are celebrating Women's History Month, and we should change the walls. Represent art that reflects women, and doesn't have to be the art of Eunice Lafate. Well, naturally, I own a gallery, so I'm promoting my art. There are numerous artists and women artists in the city of Wilmington, Delaware, who create extraordinary work. They too need to be supported. So for Women's History Month, get a work of art to represent Women's History Month. Okay, so where do you get the art of Eunice Lafate? If you live in the city of Wilmington, Delaware, I invite you to come over to 227 North Market Street. The gallery opens Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Call to make an appointment. 302-656-6786. That's where you would call to make an appointment to visit the gallery. And you can get online my work, www.lafategallery.com. That's my original paintings, limited edition prints, note cards. I do have note cards on my website too. You get those. Then there is a range of products that you can get of my work on women from a different website. So, for example, this work of art talks about the Black Trailblazers, those women who back in the 90s, early 90s, tried to get the right of women to vote. And then we have t-shirts here from the paintings. We have tote bags. It is a wide range you can get. Those you get at fineartamerica.com. I did put a link on the page screen, fineartamerica.com. Type my name in, go to the search bar, and you will find all my work, or just click on that link. So I want to thank you for watching this video and share it with your friends. It is important that we recognize women. And yesterday, if you recall, when I started out, I said I recognize all women, the janitors, the housekeepers, those women who do the menial jobs. They need to be recognized too. They are the backbone of America. So I recognize all women as part of Women's History Month. Thank you for watching.